Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're going to be watching the South America Grand Finals. We already had the biggest game of the day in the semi-finals. You guys should definitely check that out before watching this, or maybe I can do this on the second channel. It was such a banger game. But basically, for the Brawl Cup, it was Alpha 7 Esports, or like a new team, I think. I can't remember the top of my head, but anyways, it was like a really shock because in the quarterfinals they beat Casa Brawl, who I believe were like the top seed, and then they faced off against Loud. It was double match point, and Loud managed to win by 1 star. And then I fell asleep last night after that, or I think during that. And then I've not watched or seen or checked Twitter or anything watching this grand final yet. So you guys probably would have known by now, but I haven't. So I want to see this for the very first time. So Loud haven't won any monthly final just yet. I can't remember who won last monthly final, but I think it was another shock in this region. The one before that, I believe, was Casa Brawl. So like Loud have been pretty disappointing all year. So this is their chance to kind of shut the haters up, and especially when they're on a big as esports team as Loud. Loud are absolutely massive in South America, like crazy. The amount of clout these guys have got now after joining this org, it was just hilarious to see. Well, you just love to see it, like on Twitter, just literally the accounts just blew up, completely blew up from joining Loud. So anyways, we can look at knockout on the open here. Also, in terms of generic update stuff, I'm hoping there'll be like some hypercharges, balance changes next week. So for now, we just kind of got to hang tight and wait for our type of update. So you can see out in the open, we have Angelo, Lumi, and Meeple banned. I do like the Angelo ban. Again, I've been saying literally for weeks, maybe even months now, since the big balance changes that nerfed so many brawlers, that Angelo was going to be really strong again, which he is with the Pierce gadget. So we're going to go with this Squeak here. Squeak, pretty good into Bell and Brock. What can they even do? Because they can go, I guess they didn't want to go thrower, and Squeak kind of acts as that thrower-ish, right? Like he can shoot around walls essentially with his main attack, and he's a bit more less squishy, sorry. And obviously, if the map's going to be opened up, Squeak's still okay because he's got his wind-up gadget. And then they're going to go with Ollie. So Ollie makes sense, but I think they could probably just go RT here, to be honest. I mean, why wouldn't you go RT into this? To go with Meg. Okay, Meg's an interesting one. I guess, like with Meg, you can't get pulled by the gene if you're using Toolbox. And then Ollie, it's really hard to kill a Meg because she's just got so much survivability, and same with Squeak as well. I just haven't seen too much Meg, so I'm interested to see how this works out, especially with a hypercharge as well. I just pretty much have not seen any of Meg, so this is set out to be a banger, I'm sure, because all of the other games in this region were just absolutely crazy this month. Against South America, I would say probably the most boring region out of all of them. Again, no disrespect to their region, but normally it's just dominated by a couple of teams, right? There's hardly ever any upsets, and when I do my predictions, it's literally the freest points ever. So maybe this year is going to be a lot different. So we see JX actually using the speed star power here on Ollie. I mean, it's a little bit underrated with Ollie. I find on some maps it is a better star power, especially when you've got a tougher matchup. That's when I like using this star power, because it just helps you push up here. So, oh yeah, it's out in the open. I thought it was Bell's Rock for some reason. Okay, out in the open makes more sense with the Meg. Like, I thought it was Bell's Rock. I was like, why did I go Meg or Bell's Rock? I've never seen that work. So I already pushed all the way back into spawn here, which is exactly what Zurita would have wanted. Adenia's going to jump in with Meg. That's going to be a really good play and alleviate a little bit of pressure here. Another jump from the Ollie is actually going to confirm 1 kill. So I guess the Meg kind of deserting them didn't put them in a good spot, and that's going to be 2 down. That's probably much going to be the round. If they're clever enough, we're going to let Gene get his super or the Squeak. Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do here. Adenia's going to try and get into the gas. I don't know why they're not forcefully trying to get a Gene or Squeak super here, but it doesn't really matter too much, right? Maybe they didn't want to feed any Meg hypercharge too much. So he uses his Ollie super just to push forward, which I don't really agree with too much. That takes like 6 shots to get, and he's just wasted it like that. And now he's marked by the Bell, so now Louder in a really good position here. But the thing is that Ollie with his movement speed is actually really scary, and he just gets taken down so quickly there by Dog. It's going to be another wall break here. So now they've got the Bell hypercharge. They've got Meg working towards her second hypercharge. It's going to look pretty hard for Zurita to really win the third set here, to be honest, once they get loaded up. I think they're doing a decent job though. Most of them are actually pretty weak. But yeah, this region, I was very shocked, at least in the quarterfinals, for Casa Brawl to go down. Most people would have had them to win. I had it Loud to win this monthly final just because in like third-party tournaments, I believe like Loud looked pretty good. I think in the qualifiers, Loud looks really good. They just look like they turned a new leaf in this meta in particular. So yeah, Loud are going to win that one pretty convincingly. And I think does Make have Hypercharge or pretty close to Hypercharge? Okay, that was, yeah, again, I just didn't understand. I'm just going to call them ZRT. I don't understand that super play from the Ollie. It just didn't make any sense. Why would you waste that beginning of the round? It's not really going to help you out whatsoever. If you want to push up, like you may as well just take the launch pad in. Like that's the way you push in. But here, all the pressure is going down on the side of ZRT here. I guess with a Brock and a Bell, it's pretty easy to pressure them. But they're still doing a fantastic job, especially because like the Bell counters the Gene. They're still doing a good job pushing them back. He's going to get pinched like crazy, JX. Just managed to survive though, and now the pressure going to be on Loud. Okay, I thought they should have done a bit better with that early pressure there. They had him literally pinned all the way back into spawn, and somehow Loud can escape it. So a good wind up there from Exit. I don't know how to pronounce most of these names. I'm sorry. I know the players, but I can't really pronounce them. Really good pull there from Prozzy. JX is going to jump in here. Does actually get the hypnotize onto Edenia. I don't even know how he managed to do that, and they're going to actually win this round. Okay, I mean, that was a bit of back and forth there. I mean, it's quite clear I like their comp a little bit more. Again, the Meg is just a little bit questionable. The Brock's just getting pressured back too much. And they're just W-keying it. They're just literally walking up in a straight line. And they're managing to find a way to win. So, I mean, props to them. I love how they're all in like this little complex together. That's one thing I love about monthly finals the most. Is the teams getting together. That's why I would like more lands or anything like that. So JX is completely in a terrible position here. If I was Loud, they need to get him down absolutely ASAP. And nearly managed to go down there. Ficro in a bit of a weird position. I don't know how he managed to get there. And then the pinch from Cardog and Adina. I will say with South America, it is a completely different game than what I watch with other regions. It is pretty messy. It kind of reminds me of NA in that sense. Like it's just messy as anything. Like I don't know if Ficro got in that position there. In that 1v1 point blank versus the Squeak. So here, it's going to be a back and forth with both teams trying not to feed each other super. A typical knockout cheese, right? I mean, Squeak's going to try and get some supercharge with his gadget in a second. Okay, that just didn't work out the way he wanted it to. But the thing is, the longer you leave it, the more you're giving time for Brock to open up the map the way he wants to. And he's slowly just going to enter into the gas here. I mean, he tried his hardest. He didn't feed anyone. He didn't get any of his supercharge. Pretty pointless end right there. So now that was much better from Loud. Again, it's just all about the isolation. Like JX is getting a lot of pressure with Ollie, but when you're just completely left alone there, what can you really do? And it's especially with some bell taps, the Ollie can't really group up with the Gene whatsoever. They are really struggling to deal with this Ollie, though, with the amount of HP he has. He can just walk up the map. He's very fast without star power. I've got to say, I need to try that star power a little bit more. I don't normally like star powers like that because you're very restricted to where you can go, but on this map it seems like it's definitely working out pretty nicely. So with Ollie, I feel like you definitely don't want to face off against the Meg, right? Just because of the amount of HP she can melt you, especially if she gets that hypercharge as well. So he's going to work his way over to a different matchup. Good super there from Kyodog. Doesn't actually connect onto it. I thought he actually would have there. But as the gas closes in, I would definitely favor ZRT's composition, mainly because they just have a bit more HP. So JX is going to jump in here. It's like Ficro is going to get the kill already. Yeah, the hypercharge Megas just deals too much damage up close, and Loud are going to win that one. So, I mean, yeah, they're much better from Loud that time. Look, a lot more calculated. Looks like they know what they were doing. We just need to get the pinches right, not allow the Ollie to push them all the way back into spawn. And then once the Brock opens up the map, it just allows them not to get spawn trapped. That's why I really like Brock on this map, and it's why he's one of the best picks here, because you can see they break open that back section. They also break open the left-hand side as well, which also allows them another way to escape. So JX, again, just W-keying all the way up into their spawn, which is going to allow them to get a lot of pressure. Pretty much with this map, if you get them in the spawn, you pretty much win every single time. So really good connections from the Squeak there. Ficro is going to try and get a little bit more damage. I mean, this is going to be a round win for ZRT. That was they just W-keyed up in a straight line and won like that. That was just absolutely crazy. They just had no regard for their life and just ran in, and Loud just couldn't do anything about it. So we're going to jump in again here. Gene, I'm going to say, I thought he was close to pull there. But again, that's going to get some good early pressure. But the Meg onto the Ollie here. Not actually going to get him down as much as I thought. I mean, Meg's got to be careful here. He's got a hypercharge, so can definitely melt once they get in range. And Gene having pull here is a very scary proposition though. Ollie as well in the grass. He's going to get pretty weak. Adinio's going to pop hypercharge. Does miss the swipe. And he's going to get pulled there. How did he just manage to get a double kill in that situation? I just thought he really messed up. And then somehow it just completely worked in his favor. How did that even happen? And now it's going to be set point for both teams here. So very important to try and win this first set. That was a good break from Cardog there. Not wanting to break their back walls, but wanted to break up some grass. A lot of people made that mistake again. And here we go. So, I mean, Squeak's just going to try and build up his super. It's just a boring part of knockout. I wish you could just skip parts of these knockout rounds. Again, like, Cardog's going to break up more grass. More and more and more. So if I was to predict it, I think Loud are going to clutch this one. Personally, they got their supers built up. They're not going to jump in again here. And to play it smartly, Loud should win, in my opinion. They just should. But Ollie's going to push up really, really easily here. I guess it's about the matchups. Like, I think they've sent Meg down the other lane, anticipating Ollie to jump in or whatever. And then that just allows Ollie to walk it up right for free. Good taps there from Fire Crow. Again, they got them in spawn, which is pretty good. These connections from the wind-up are definitely dangerous, though. Look, nearly killing Kyle Dog, which would have been disastrous. So a lot of chipping back and forth, not really a lot going on. Another missed gadget from Kyle Dog, going to break open more of the map. Fire Crow trying to get a pinch onto the Squeak. They're starting to group up a lot here, and there's a lot of that mark from Gene's looking pretty scary. The hypercharge coming down. It's going to get a bit of pressure. It's going to miss onto Edinio. Edinio's in a really tough spot. He's going to get taken down. ZLT going to jump in. It's going to be the Gene pull as well. Yeah, this is surely over. Kaidog in a 1 versus 2 situation. I've seen these happen before, but with a Brock, yeah, it's just not going to happen. Of course, a Jinx Loud here, and they're going to lose the first set. So that Squeak hypercharge put them in such a good situation there. The Meg was just kind of, Edinio was just left to, you know, die there. He was kind of deserted, and it just didn't really go in their favor. So yeah, ZLT winning that one. That was really messy. I don't even know what really happened there. Let's jump into the next one. All right, guys, jumping into the next set, then we've got Hot Zone Ring of Fire. So skip through a little bit of the draft here. Just try not to bore you guys as much as possible. Double bow ban, which is interesting. The Lu ban, of course, Lumi ban as well. So being one of the better brawlers. Lola, I'm quite surprised. I mean, Lola is a good brawler in Hot Zone, but to warrant a ban, I think with the Bell ban, it's quite clear they wanted the B first pick because Bell's one of the best counters to that. They go with 8-bit Berry, which I'm very surprised about. Hank as well. Hank has been picked so much on open maps. I wonder what they pair it with. They do need like a good lane brawler. I mean, they've got to deal with the healing here, so they can't go like a Meeple. They probably need a bit more damage. I mean, they could go with like an Amber, like an in-between. Trying to think what else there is. What else is up? I haven't got the game up. I can't think off the top of my head. We're going to go with Cole. How didn't I think Cole? Cole normally is like a first pick in other regions, and he slides all the way through the end of a draft. So the good thing about Cole, like I always say, you can just switch gadgets. If they look to count you anyway, you can just go Flying Hook, and then his super can do a lot of damage to Berry. And 8-bit. So with this composition, I'm thinking surely there's something that double counters here. Hank and Cole, they don't like it when a brawler gets close to them. I'm thinking Buster probably here. I'm thinking the Buster pairs really well with. Okay, we go to Meg again. Meg again. Have they seen something we aren't with Meg? Meg again. I mean, I guess kind of makes sense, but I just don't like Meg. I just don't. The only thing they've got going for them is the Berry healing. The Berry's going to get a lot of value with 8-bit and Meg. I guess like 8-bit. And Meg should just melt through their composition, but then they've got B to face off against. This is a tough one. I'm weirdly, I want to go against Loud here, but I weirdly think it's going to work if they're drafting Meg again. I would just rather a Buster. If Buster wasn't banned, you know, he can interrupt both of Hank's and Carl's basics, and of course Carl's super. But again, like Carl and Hank hate it when there's a brawler like directly on top of him. But I guess it's pretty hard to just completely counter him nowadays with how fast Hank can charge his super, and of course Carl with his heat ejector gadget. But here's a pretty tough start from Loud, and I'm gonna live to regret saying it's gonna work right again. Like But me straight away, I would think Meg, they've just destined to lose. And they're going to get absolutely melted. Why did I put Loud to win? And maybe they can make a bit of a comeback. But the Meg, why are they going Meg? Meg, what are they doing, guys? Come on. Right. Hopefully they heat up a little bit here. We want a bit of a game on their hand. So Hypercharge is going to go onto the Carl here. They're just sitting in the fire. I guess that's actually going to farm the Berry more Supercharge, weirdly enough, which is hilarious. What you want to do with Berry most of the time is actually you want to receive damage so you can cycle supers. But the Carl going to go in here. There's no one on the zone whatsoever here. The Hank Hypercharge is going to kill the Berry. Dog's also out of his mech as well. I guess the kind of grouping up does make sense in Ring of Fire. But the Carl's going to pinch round. The Hank's going to pinch round. It's not really looking the best for them. The super going down onto the Carl. Really well played from Medinho, to be fair. But still, we're just not really getting any time on the zone whatsoever here. They need to start ramping up the pressure. Here we go. So we've got to mount a bit of an attack here. Firecrow TP's in as well. The Hypercharge Berry going to go down. It's going to be some good pressure. Still trying to heal up his teammates as much as possible. Another super cycled. Going to use it onto the Meg. Carl's going to go in here. Does actually get completely melted. This is looking much better from Loud. They're starting to get a bit more of a setup. The Bee's trying the hardest. The Dino is going absolutely crazy on the Berry, by the way. The Berry nerf, well, actually, it got reverted, didn't it? It got reverted. That's why Berry's been seen a little bit more. I forgot about that. So, this is basically the old Berry from before. Yeah, I mean, this definitely would have changed up a lot of strategy in my head because it's basically like a mini balance change. The Hank's going to push up here. It's going to get a lot of value. Going to get taken down. I think he missed that bubble here, but the Carl's going to super in. Just getting so much value. Dog's trying his hardest against the Bee, but Bee's just not shooting, staying alive for so long, and that's surely going to be the round win. I really thought Loud started to clap back a lot, and it started to get a bit of momentum. I think if they fix their early game, which is pretty hard on this composition, because it really relies off Berry, farmer supers a lot. It relies off 8-bit's turret being up, because 8-bit without it, of course, is terrible, whilst Zurita can just walk up the map with Carl, pinch easily, Hank pinch easily. Yeah, I see the strategy with Loud. They're trying to group up and just make it really, really difficult for any tank to get close to them. But again, giving them a B first pick is just wild. The taps are going to be so easy against this 8-bit without a turret. Look at this. Carl can just walk through the lane for free because who's going to face him down that lane? Nobody. They're just giving him this matchup. Okay, so the Meg's going to finally go through. That's just going to be a miss super from Medinho. This could cost him. Still somehow alive here. I don't even know how. Another supercharge onto Firecrow. But yeah, just look at this composition. Why did I had a feeling that the Meg comp would work. Why did I say that? I mean, again, it can definitely come back, but 50% down already. Why the Meg, guys? Please. Like, a Buster would have just cleaned up so easily. Like, this Carl pressuring up. The Buster could have just gadgeted and, like, free-shot him with ease. And then had some better zone time. Medinho with another super pro. He's doing his best with the Berry, farming like crazy, but we just can't seem to get anything going. Another Berry super going to fully heal up the Meg here. Still stays alive, and here we go. They're starting to cook up a little bit here. They were like 50% to 0 at the start, and now Dog's without his super. This could be the demise, I swear. Actually, I think this toolbox gadget does work pretty well with the Berry, with the consistent healing. Another hypercharged super. Dino's going absolutely crazy here. They're starting to get their strategy locked down, and here we go, guys. Here we go. Finally, this is what I wanted to see. Meg still is without Meg, but this 8-bit hypercharge is going to be really annoying for all the tanks to face off against. I think the Carl's one of the best brawlers for it. It just actually missed the gadget. That could be disastrous because now it's going to take a little bit longer to get rid of that gadget. The hypercharge swipe as well. That was disgusting. The range on that. The super as well going down from Berry. They're starting to mount a bit of a comeback here. There's only 5% in it, but they need to start going quick. Firecrow needs to start trying to erase both of them. Everyone going to go towards the mid. That goes Hank. There's so little in it. Carl going to go super in. The Berry super as well. Loud are actually going to win this. A 50% deficit. And they overturn it. Okay, we see how it starts cooking. Once the Berry starts cycling supers like crazy, I see how this is working. Wow, this is so intense. I'm eating my own words here. I'm going back and forth in my mind and be like, okay, this is a terrible composition. Oh, it's actually working out. I still believe the Buster would have been better or just something a bit more tankier, but we can see. When a team like doubles down on the Meg, you're thinking that something has clearly worked in practices because regions are different. Guys, the meta is a little bit different in every region. Don't tell me why it's different. It's just I think the majority of the best brawlers in the game, they'll always be like the same in most regions, right? But it's just more like, I don't know, there might be some niche picks in that region. Like some regions just like going tanks more because, for example, like in South America and North America, the ping is pretty bad because obviously they're big countries, right? They're not close together. So, you know, some people have higher ping, high connections, so they have to go brawlers that are better with like auto aim, you know, like tankier brawlers, etc. That's why the metas are a little bit different. I'm just waffling at this point, but a lot of people are confused why the metas are different. And again, there's so many brawlers in the game, it's like nearly impossible for the metas to be perfect in every single region. We see in East Asia as well, they're more mechanical players, and we see in EU, we're more control based most of the time, right? So Hypercharge is going to go down for Firecrow. Meg's going to get completely melted. The Hypercharge is going to go down pretty immediately. Hank's getting a lot of value here. Hypercharge Super as well. He's doing so well against two of them. Hypercharge Super from the berry. The amount of healings he's getting through this Meg and 8-bit is absolutely insane. And we just can't really deal with it. So now really close in percentages. Definitely a lot better this time around from Loud, but Adino needs to make sure he's grouping up with his teammates. It's going to be another Super. A Hypercharge going down from the Meg, but they're completely isolated here. Meg's going to go down. Nearly gets the kill onto the B. Pretty much everyone in Zurita are really weak. Carl and B will literally one-shot, but they need to make it work now, Loud. It's now or never. Going 2 sets down would be absolutely disastrous. So really good berry Super here. Gets the healing, but Meg's going to go down again. Both brawlers on ZRT are so incredibly weak, and it looks like they're going to win this hot zone set. Wow. It really takes everything for Loud to make the composition work. That's when you know there's flaws, right? Like, it was working, but it just looked too difficult to make work most of the time because Carl got so much value from just his basic attack. Wow, 2 sets up. Surely they can't be sweeping Loud here. I want a reverse sweep or something, so let's jump into the next one. All right, guys, jumping into the third set, we've got Brawl Ball Super Beach. And I mean, they were close games, but I'm still just unsure about the double Meg pick. Like, come on. Meg is still a terrible brawler. She isn't good. I don't think the Meg was really doing too much. The Hypercharge did something decent, but literally the only thing Meg was providing in that game was her HP. So Barry could farm supers. Literally was the only thing. You could have gone so many different brawlers there. Anyways, moving into the third set. I don't want them to get sweeped here. I just don't, because my predictions, I do these predictions at the beginning of every like monthly final. I think I went for Humble, and of course Humble lost to SK. I went for, what did I go for? I think I went for Crazy Raccoon, and they just got absolutely destroyed by Zeta. So I just jinx everything. I literally jinx everything. I can never get East Asia right, by the way, because I literally said Zeta in the first monthly final, and Crazy Raccoon made it easy. And then like went Crazy Raccoon because I look so strong, and then Zeta. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what I do in any region. I just get everything wrong. Right. I need Loud to win, please. Okay, so we've got a Mo here. Mo's a good brawler. I see there's a lot of drama with Heretics picking Mo on dueling Beetles, which I can kind of understand, but I don't think Mo is that terrible of a brawler. I think if Mo had the other star power, it could work differently. Anyway, that's another topic. But I don't think Mo is that bad. I've seen Mo picked quite a little bit. He's like this, you know, B-tier brawler. He's like decent. Okay, Loud are going to go quick with their picks. They're going to go with a Jackie, which of course is going to be decent into Mo because Mo can't really super onto the Jackie. Then the Juju and the Lou. Okay, they seem to be really quick with their picks. So when people do that, it's normally like he's shaking his head. He doesn't think he's got anything to counter this. What can you even counter this composition with? Maybe a thrower yourself here? I don't even know what you go with. Maybe, no, Frank is banned. You can't really do that against them. They go to Barley. Okay. I guess Barley makes sense. Into this comp, it does make sense. But now you've got Mo against... Oh, no, Mo's going to go mid against Lou. Okay, that's not the end of the world. I would be using the longer star power with Mo on this matchup for sure. Actually, I don't know. I don't think you really need the longer star power here because you've got the Jackie running in on you. Like, Lou doesn't like crazily outrange you, right? So I guess I'd still go. I'm the Mo expert, guys. That's why I'm always like debating what star power to go in what matchup, but still probably would go with the... Because basically, if you guys didn't know, 1 star power has a longer range and 1 star power has more damage. So he's going to go with... Wait, has he got the longer one? I can't see if his skin is like so weird. 1, 2. I think he's going for the longer star power one. Let me see again. 1, Yeah, he's going for the longer star power one. Okay, it just makes sense here. I probably would have gotten that still. But anyway, look, if this Jackie runs in on the Mo, like Mo has no damage. So it's another thing going towards Loud's comp. I think Loud are going to win this, by the way, just because of the fact that the guy was shaking his head and Loud just picked the brawler so quickly. Jackie's actually a really good brawler. Well, not like a really good brawler, but she's a good brawler in draft. And particular matchups like Super Beach is just made for Jackie. You've got Gem Fort as well. Good Jackie map. And a lot of teams are going good matchups for Jackie. So Jackie's using Counter Crusher, which I'm unsure about because recently the pros have been going the other star power because Counter Crusher is only going to be good into Hank. And when you think about it, Hank's going to keep his distance for the most part. So I just think you may as well just go the other star power. I know you're missing a bit of damage. Super's going to go down here. Hank's got Hypercharge already. We're going to manage to get the pinch off here. So it looks like they're trying to get the matchups. Jackie onto the Mo. Juju onto the Berry. I mean, Juju is a far better brawler than Berry on this map because you got this grass. It's just going to be pretty annoying for the Barley. And then, again, it's just easy, like more consistent damage. It's like Ficro is going to get one kill, another kill onto the Hank. Good Hypercharge. I don't know about that Hypercharge, actually. I mean, it gets the kill, but a whole Hypercharge super just for one kill probably would have saved that, personally. But here, 45 seconds left. The Mo's not really doing all too much. I mean, the Mo's done all right. Got a kill onto the Juju and whatever else. The Hypercharge super completely wasted there. I know he's trying to get some pressure, but I mean, you can see here, Jackie's doing an okay job against his Barley, but he definitely wants to face off against the Hank rather than the Mo. Ficro getting some decent damage here. Juju's in a really bad spot. He's going to get pinched out really easily. Just managed to survive against the Hank and get some good pressure versus the Mo. So the pinch here with Gree and Mo eventually gets them down. Good super there from Ficro. Going to stop them in the tracks for a little bit. And here the pressure going into overtime. It's looking for a great chance for Loud to score here. The super here from Jackie. He's going to try and squeeze it into the corner. Kind of understand that, but at the same time, it seems a little bit rushed. Now into overtime, you know, Mo might have a decent matchup here with the longer star power and his super. He can definitely get a goal scoring opportunity here. But Jackie going to run on in with a lot of HP, and with the longer star power, he just doesn't have the DPS to deal with it. Ficro with another Hypercharge. He's going to get a kill onto the Barley. Nearly going down. Does manage to stay alive. It's going to be really important for the pinch. Passes it forward, though. A bit of a miscommunication. This is so messy. But I think with a Hypercharge super here from Jackie, there's nothing that they can do. He could just walk that in and Loud get themselves onto, well, the game sheet there. But we haven't got a set yet. We haven't got it. But it didn't look as convincing. I think draft-wise, they surely have it right because ZRT just couldn't even get out of their spawn. They literally couldn't get out of their spawn, no matter what like matchups they were changing. I mean, there was one instance where Hank ran all the way up the top corner, got some decent pressure, but that was just about it. Not really anything else happened for ZRT this time around. So you can see here, they're trying to get their matchups as much as possible. They want the Juju on the Berry. They want the Jackie onto the Hank. But this time with the swap, the problem is, right, if you're swapping, especially on Super Beach, you're losing a lot of pressure straight away. If you're forcing the opponents to swap. But they managed to survive that, actually, after all that waffle. Okay. So Mo's got super. You can only really super onto the Juju. And even Juju can kind of defend herself once she gets her super. So it's not really the end of the world for her. Yeah, Mo's going to go for the kill. He's going to get a clean kill, but it just actually receive a lot of damage. Dino's going to eventually go down here as well. So they kind of escaped that. Again, it's just pretty hard for ZRT to mount like a decent push. With Lou shutting them down too much. There's too much defensive capabilities on the side of Loud. With Jackie super, with Lou super, with Gree going down most of the time. A Barley flush out is exactly what they need though. A good Jackie super onto the Gree though. It's going to help them out a lot. Barley's going in insanely aggro here. It's going to get found out in a pinch surely. Good shots from Ficro, really good shots. And the Hypercharge here, this might be the chance to score. Adino's going to push in the Mo. There's nothing the Mo can do. Hypercharge going to go down onto Hank. Even with a Hypercharge super, it's not going to be enough. Barley slow. I think with a Jackie super, okay, that's really good positioning from the Barley, to be fair. But even with a super kick away, the respawn timer is just too short. And Adino just manages to squeeze it in. I mean, the respawn time is too long, sorry. We can't respawn in time. I don't know how he managed to get that in. It looked like he actually left that too late. So Hypercharge going to go down here on Hank. Super's going to go down as well. Hypercharge pretty much wasted from the Hank. That's why Jackie's so good in tank, because of course Hank likes it when the squishier brawlers. I know this is a Hank main. You want the squishier brawlers, or maybe like if there's assassins, they're good for him. But tanks aren't good for Hank because it takes them so long to kill them. Again, like Jackie's just going to run in here, constantly like interrupt his bubble, and then paired with other people, just going to get the pinch down. 25 seconds left. It looks like Loud are going to get this set. I mean, ZLT just look completely out of their depths in this set. Like, it's just complete dominant control from Loud. They've really turned this up. I don't see a single way they score here. Even with Mo going in here, 10 seconds left actually. Just get a lot of control. Imagine if they get this in. But that was incredibly close. That was really well played from the Mo. But yeah, just all too much to do there. Completely destroyed by Loud in that set. Complete draft diff. Again, you could just tell when people insta-lock something, they know they've got the draft. So Loud 2-1. Let's see if they can get the reverse. Let's jump into the next one. All right, guys, jumping into the fourth set here. We've got Gem Grab at Gem 4. So the Mo first pick on Gem 4. Okay, I personally don't agree with this. I think I'm going to go with a Jackie again. I can just see it. I can see it. Maybe like a Max Jackie combination. The B's really good on this map as well. Bo's good on this map. Chester. Yeah, Chester makes complete sense here. And we need to go with a mid again. We can go. I don't think B's actually good against Mo, so we need to be careful. What is good against Mo mid? I'm interested to see what they go into this. We could go with like a Gene, maybe? I don't know. I think a Max probably safest because you can like dash away from Mo's super. You can super away from it. It's probably the most sensible mid, in my opinion. Hank. They're going to go with the Hank. Okay, Hank is very good on Gem 4. Very, very good. I'm guessing Chester can kind of work as like a weird mid on Gem 4. He can, but we're going to go with a mid last, which is pretty interesting. So if I were Zurita gang, what would I go? The thing is, you can go Jackie, which is good against the Hank, but then Chester's going to get a lot of value with the hypercharge. It's looking dangerous for Zurita. I don't understand the Mo personally. I just don't understand it. Trying to look at the bands as well. We see the Tara band, Buster band. We see a lot of Buster bands. Surge. Oh no, I don't like this. I don't like this. Surge into Hank. No. You don't go Surge into Hank, guys. And Ash. But what is this composition? What are these compositions from South America? I'm really confused. I'm really confused. We see the Surge is good in Gen 4, don't get me wrong. But Surge is just not great in this meta. And I never liked Surge into Hank because you basically get two-shot by the Surge. By the Hank. It's just not that good. And they haven't really got a convenient mid. They've got Mo as a mid probably. They can use the extra range star power, but I don't really like it. So late pick here. Honestly, I could go with Berry. I don't really. I guess Berry's good everywhere when he's back in his previous form. But Berry into this, interesting. I don't know. This is a really weird draft, and I can't really work my way around it. I would have just still preferred like a Max or maybe even a Jackie to counter out their Mo and their Ash. I don't know what both teams are really thinking here, but we're just going to this game and see how it fares out. And like, what? Who's going to be the mid? I mean, he gets Berry as a mid, but he's very prone to a Mo. Let's just say that. I guess we're just all going to group up mid. Yeah, we're all going to group up mid and just let the other team flank them, which I guess is fair enough. The Surge is in here behind. He's going to get a lot of pressure. The Mo already supering it in. This is just going to be... This isn't Brawl Stars, what I'm watching right now. Let's just face it. This is not Brawl Stars. This is my legendary one randoms. I don't want to be too harsh. I don't want to be too harsh because they are playing well. It's just more the drafting. The drafting is very, very questionable. So Ash into this. I don't know how Ash is actually going to get that much pressure because they're all grouping up, and Ash doesn't like that. He likes the 1v1s. Surge going to get a lot of pressure here. I mean, the Berry is just absolutely clapping in the 1v1s. Mo manages to get out. I think, is he using long range in this matchup? If he's using long range Mo, that again makes no sense. Just because, yeah, he's using long range Mo because you're facing off against a Berry and a Hank and a Chester. They all have a lot of HP. There's just kind of no point using the extra range. That's a really good slow onto the Mo. He's using a slow gadget as well, which is very interesting. Slow gadget is very good against tanks. I rate it. A good Hank player uses the slow. So now the game's looking pretty decent for ZRT here. They've got some gems in the corner. They've not picked them up. I think they need like, oh, they need 5 gems. I think there's 5 gems dropped from Medino. So still a lot that's needed. 2 gems are left for Loud here. Surge going to get a hypercharge. It's not really going to do too much. It just doesn't have the same impact to what it used to have. I think there was actually a bug with Surge's hypercharge as well, by the way, that it has extra damage boosts, which is kind of weird. Anyways, we see another super coming down from the berry. And there's just 1 gem is all that they need here. I mean, Surge getting a lot of damage. Going to jump in here. This is looking really sketchy for Loud. The hypercharge Chester super just bails them out. Oh, that was very, very sketchy from Loud. Just bails them out. And it looks like they definitely have their composition. If sure they do. It doesn't look like ZRT really have too much going for them. The control looks weirdly enough in Loud's favor for the most of the game. Like, it was very chaotic, but they was controlling that chaos. When you thought about it, they always had the gem lead. They always seemed to like get the kill if one of their teammates died. Yeah, this is a hard game to watch, to be honest. It's a very interesting strategy. You would never really see the strategy played out in your ranked games. Let's just say that. This goes to show that Berry in his old state is very, very OP, and he definitely deserved somewhat of a nerf, right? I mean, the nerf pretty much, it didn't kill Berry, but it didn't make him meta at all. And then in his previous state, he's too good. So we need an in-between. This is very, very clear. With the next set of balance changes, we need an in-between with Berry, hopefully. So if we're going to get a team wipe in here, we really need to try a strategy here. ZRT again, the Surge. I just didn't like the Surge pick whatsoever into the Hank. Just never go Surge into Hank. Trust me, guys. It never, ever works. Right, Berry is going to get a lot of value here. Hypercharge super going to go down. It's going to be so much healing. And again, you know, Mo with the extra range star power, it's not going to be enough against all of his healing. He's pretty much doing nothing other than just collecting a few gems and then dashing out. He's going to super on in here. Does actually get the kill, but because of Berry's healing, if it just can't really do too much against it, Hank's going to easily destroy that hypercharge. Vicro gets a good super off onto the Ash. He's going to get dwindled down, and now thanks to that Berry shot, I think that's going to 29 health. That is annoying. That is really annoying. That's that type of look that you don't like to see. But hypercharge coming down here from Medino, the Chester hypercharge as well. It just seems to me that the longer the game goes on, it's even more impossible for ZRT, because the Chester hypercharge just completely melts everything. So Mo's going to get a lot of damage in there. I think if using the other star power though, I felt like he could have definitely got that kill onto Kyodog. Does manage to cycle his super very, very quick though. Hypercharge coming down from Kyodog, and this is just too much healing for ZRT to deal with. It's back and forth though. We absolutely love to see a matchup like this, but Mo, he can't really go in here. He could try and flank a little bit. Surge is now forced to go towards the mid, but these Berry shots in the middle are just positioned so well. Just makes it so Surge can't push up. And Kyodog's just doing everything on this Berry. I love seeing good Berry players. They're making sure the opponents aren't pushing up. They're making sure they're getting the heals with their teammates. And this has been a masterclass Berry performance from Loud so far. So now it is 2-2 in sets. I'm hoping to see the reverse sweep here. What a banger monthly final this is for South America. One of the best I can remember for a very long time. So let's jump into the final set. All right, guys, jumping into the final set. We've got Bounty shooting stars. So I know I'm here saying that Mo's a decent brawler and he lost both of these games. Okay, just disregard that, because I think, well, they shouldn't have picked Mo so early on in the draft. Maybe again the scrims, something was working for them. I guess like with Mo, you could go like a mid and go there. Like he's pretty versatile, but I didn't understand that star power choice into healing compositions. I didn't. Why would you need the extra range when they're all grouped up with a Berry? You know that's gonna be a strategy, right? Hardly anyone outranged him, so he didn't need the extra range star power. Anyways, enough waffling. I'm very, very passionate about Mo, guys, as you know, Mo LC. Right, we see the Bell first pick here. We see Mandy, Piper, and Nanny. So a lot of range banned out from Zurita gang. They go with the RT and the Gus. So I guess that's because there's not really a lot of good range brawlers left, when literally 3 of the best ones are banned out. And then actually there's like no good range brawlers now. Byron's banned, Angelo's banned, the 3 best snipers banned on the left side of things. I mean, Jean is available here. I'm guessing Loud didn't want to go with Jean just because of that thing. There's also Grey that we need a mid-range, so we need to go Grey, Jean. They could go maybe with a Tick. They go with a Jean here, so I guess I didn't want to get baited out here, but go with a Carl as well. So this is one thing I don't like so much, because Jean's good against the squishier snipers because of the gadget, right? Jean's good against the likes of Mandy, Piper, and Nani, literally, because they're squishy. The gadget can finish off kills, make them weak. But against Ulti and Gus, I don't really like too much. I would personally go for the Grey here. This is looking like a really good Grey game because you've got the gadget to cancel out Carl Super. Yeah, they're going to go Grey. See, I know my drafts, guys. I know my drafts when it's a bit more EU-centric, when I'm not seeing Mo first picks and Megs everywhere. It just makes sense. So Grey is going to be really good against this Carl because you can farm a lot of supers. The Carl's very vulnerable, especially on a map like this. I'm going to go with Loud, guys. I'm going to go Loud on this one. I've been pretty correct with most of the drafting. I'm still annoyed at set number 2 that I said that Loud would win, weirdly enough, with a Meg. I was just confident because Loud had a better team, but it was clear that Meg wasn't a good pick. But I like their draft in comparison to Zurita's and Jean. He doesn't have terrible matchups, but I definitely prefer the squishiest snipers. Jean's going to go lane, of course he is. And then Carl in the middle, but again, a good Grey. See here, good taps already. And he's using a Fire Gadget. I mean, Fire Gadget makes sense in most parts, but I guess, I don't know. I guess it still makes sense because the thing is here, with the Flying Hook, he isn't really going to get any kills onto the RT at least, and the Gus as well with the knockback, etc. But I still would have gone Flying Hook, mainly because of the blue star and just to get out of sticky situations. The Fire Gadget is going to be really hard to hit on a really open map here, so some good taps here from Fire Crow. Kydog's going to get him pretty weak. Adinio goes in, but now he's split and he's going to get taken down. I guess it made sense to get the kill, but when you split with ulti, you're just never going to get back into your other form, especially on an open map. And on this map, you'll be probably using, well, you're definitely using the gadget that actually confirms that tick damage. So a good gadget here from Fire Crow. Also the Miss Gene pull. I don't know how he managed to stay alive there. What is even going on? Back and forth here. The Carl's going to super up, but straight into Adinio, which is not really going to be too much of a threat. He actually is Bellmark, so I think literally 2 pieces of ammo onto him is going to take him down. See the amount of damage that he can do. So just a blue star in favor of Loud here. Good Flying Hook again, connects onto the Carl. Carl doesn't connect his gadget, else that would have been the trade. But Adinio's definitely looking vulnerable here with that mark. It's just seeming to do a lot of damage onto him. The Gene constantly chipping him down as well is going to be troublesome. Good taps from Adinio though. That's literally a triple tap. And the final one, the Hypercharge Super confirming the kill fight. Everyone's playing so incredibly well on Loud here. This will be disastrous for Zurita to lose this one. For going 2 sets up, getting reverse swept, there might not be a better chance in the season to pick up some points. I mean, this is a very close ending, but Loud just looking for control. It looks like they're about to get a reverse sweep. Imagine the type of season that Loud are having, by the way. To them, like win on match point in the semi-finals, to get the reverse sweep in the grand finals, it looks like they've finally turned a page and defeated them demons that were holding them back the whole year. It just seemed like they just could never get any momentum going, and clearly if they win this one, this could be really good momentum going into Brawl Cup and just overall giving them confidence for the rest of the year. So good gadget again from Fire Crow. He's absolutely popping off today. I feel like he's just done nothing wrong. Fire Crow's definitely my favorite player from this region, by the way. He's just got insane aura, and I just never really see Fire Crow play too badly whatsoever. Again, might be biased because he's just got insane aura. But again, we've got 3 stars up in. I just don't like normally with Cole, guys. With Cole, you normally pick him as a mid, because you pick him as a mid because he can counter throwers, he can Flying Hook to get you the blue star, but in this instance he just lacks range. Fire Crow is going to get another 200 HP, just manages to stay alive, but I don't think anyone from Loud can overextend because they're all one shot as well. But yeah, as I said, like Carl as a lane brawler is not really the best. I think it would make more sense if he had Flying Hook still, because you could Flying Hook to get that blue star and then maybe you could camp behind the left wall. That would have been a strategy, but now they're 7 stars down. I really don't know how to come back here, because Fire Crow just seems to hit every single walking cane that goes out, and every single time as well. Like Loud seem to be like one shot and near enough dead, and they always survive. So luck might be on their side a little bit here, but they just seem to have the ice here, which is all that you need as a good team. So Fire Crow, couple of taps. Oh, another Miss Gene pull as well. Adinio's going to get another kill here. He is going to actually manage to tank so much of those shots and still manage to stay alive in that super form. Wow, 25 seconds left and they need a full team wipe and then some, I think. So 8 stars. Yeah, they need a full... Oh, no, they just need a full... No, they need a full team wipe and another kill. So this is looking impossible for ZRT here. They need to go in now And it looks like Loud should be your monthly final winners. Like, how are they going to come back here? The taps have just been absolutely insane from Loud, and they're going to win their first monthly final of the year. You love to see it. The pressure that must have been on these guys' backs the first few monthly finals, insane. And they get to go to the Brawl Cup in Dallas. You couldn't write that. Imagine like falling short in the first 2 monthly finals and not looking the best, and then you just get the perfect script, and they go into the Brawl Cup. I love to play it. These guys are so funny, by the way. Like, I just love them. Look at it. Oh, it's just hilarious. It's hilarious. Right. That's going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. South America is a hilarious region. I swear, I absolutely love those guys. But that's going to be it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.